Wenn die Sonne über Waldraum aufgeht und der Herbstnebel sich langsam lichtet, sieht man mitten im Ort ein Haus stehen, was anders ist als die angrenzenden Wohnhäuser. Während die Siedlung noch erwacht, macht sich bereits ein kleiner Strom von Menschen auf den Weg zum Erinnerungsort Badehaus. Das 2018 eröffnete Museum wurde fast komplett von Freiwilligen erbaut. Es gedenkt dem Lager Föhrenwald, einem Lager, was von den Nazis errichtet und nach dem Ende des Zweiten Weltkrieges von den Alliierten genutzt wurde, um jüdische Displaced Persons zu beherbergen. Es war eines der größten und das am längsten bestehende jüdische Flüchtlingslager in Europa. Betrieben und erweitert werden kann das Museum nur durch viel ehrenamtliche Arbeit. Dutzende von Freiwilligen arbeiten bis heute an der historischen Spurensuche mit. Besonders engagiert sich eine Gruppe von jungen Mitarbeitern. Christina hat hier ihren Dienst als Bundesfreiwillige absolviert. Ein Jahr lang arbeitete sie im Museum, half bei der Organisation von Veranstaltungen und koordinierte Führungen. André ist ihr Nachfolger als Bundesfreiwilliger. Der 18-Jährige möchte einmal Chemie studieren. Jetzt hilft er aber erstmal ein Jahr lang, Zeitzeugengespräche zu filmen und das Museum zu betreiben. Sarah ist 25 und schreibt ihre Masterarbeit über das Lager Föhrenwald. Sie studiert europäische Ethnologie und ist im Badehaus vor allem für Digitalisierung zuständig. Der 23-jährige Jonathan ist der stellvertretende Leiter des Museums und dafür verantwortlich, dass hinter den Kulissen alles glatt läuft. Aber auch inhaltlich arbeitet der Jura- und Politikstudent seit Jahren aktiv mit. Die vier beschäftigen sich heute mit der Frage, wie das Leben im Lager Föhrenwald gewesen ist. Wie war es, so kurz nach dem Holocaust als Jude auf deutschem Boden zu wohnen? Wie haben die Lagerbewohner die Deutschen gesehen? Und was ist heute ihr Blick auf das sogenannte Tätervolk, mehr als 60 Jahre später? Dazu führen sie Interviews mit ehemaligen Bewohnern von Föhrenwald, die heute in Israel leben, und ihren Kindern und Enkeln. Denn sie wollen auch sehen, welche Bedeutung die traumatische Familiengeschichte für junge Israelis hat und ob sie ein ähnliches oder anderes Bild von den Deutschen haben als die ältere Generation. Und das sind die Zeitzeugen, die wegen der Pandemie über Zoom zugeschaltet werden.
Okay, my name is Shai Lachman. I was born in January 1947 in the Föhrenwald DP camp in Germany.
So hello, my name is Liron Lachman. I'm the daughter of Shai Lachman and Talila. And I was born in 1981.
Bella Rubin. I'm age 74. I live in Tel Aviv, Israel, but I was born in a displaced persons camp named Föhrenwald.
Hi, my name is Uriah Rubin. I'm 39 and I'm the son of Bella Rubin.
My name is Robbie Wax. I'm 72 years old and I lived in Föhrenwald till the age of 9.
My name is Amit. I'm 17 years old and I'm the grandson of Robbie.
My name is Joseph Pliskin. I'm 74 years old. I was born in Föhrenwald.
My name is Gilly Pliskin. I'm 45 years old and I'm the daughter of Joseph Pliskin.
My name is Helene Rumani. I was born in 1950 in the Föhrenwald DP camp.
My name is Yael. I'm Helene's daughter. I'm 27 years old, born in Israel.
Okay, my name today is Shoshana Bellin, and I was born in DP Camp Föhrenwald in June 11th, 1946.
So my name is Gali Bellin. When I got married, it's Gali Sharet. I was born in 1972.
So my name is Danielle Sharet, and I was born in Israel in April 29, 2000.
What did your parents tell you about Föhrenwald?
generally speaking, Föhrenwald for a very long time, still in a way, for me was associated with the Shoah. Although I knew it was a rehabilitation place where many marriages took place and where children were born, and I saw the pictures, but still it was the last phase of the Holocaust for my parents before they went on to a new life in a new world in the United States.
In Föhrenwald, in the year 1946 and 47, there was an elementary school, Tarbut, a kindergarten, an old vocational training school, a library of over 700 books, sport. The reputable Maccabi Sports Club was well known in the entire region. And Föhrenwald also had a Jewish police force, fire brigade, post office, and well-equipped hospital managed by Dr. Boris Pliskin.
Okay. Now you are alive in Föhrenwald. Most say they had a very nice childhood in the DP camp. What are your memories of Föhrenwald?
I would say as a child, I couldn't have a better experience in my life than Föhrenwald. I did not know what was going on around, but Föhrenwald, we were all talking Yiddish. We were all Jews. It was like living in a Jewish shtetl in Eastern Europe. We were basically free. We could go. We could do what we wanted. Our parents didn't have to look after us. We, from the morning to the evening, we went in the summer. We went to the Isar swimming, and we were collecting their strawberries. And I'm still remembering the taste of these strawberries. These are the best strawberries ever in my life. I never found them again somewhere else.
What do you remember about the BADEHAUS? You must have some memories about the BADEHAUS.
So the BADEHAUS goes down the hill, and the windows were we call it Milchfenster, because you shouldn't look into it because you could see the showers and so on. And I remember very well, I think I was 7 or 8 years old. I took a stone and smashed the window while the young girls, the teen girls, were under the shower. And it was very impressive. They were running away.
And how has Föhrenwald shaped your own life?
Well, I grew up in the atmosphere of being only child of Holocaust survivors, and I knew what they went through. And I'm always, today, especially in hindsight, I'm wondering how two people who have been so traumatized during the war started a new life, a new family. That's amazing how people could bounce back.
Für die Kinder war das Leben im Lager Föhrenwald glücklich und unbeschwert. Die meisten unserer Zeitzeugen waren sehr jung, als sie sich hier aufhielten. Im ersten Moment wussten sie jedoch nichts von den Taten, die dazu führten, dass ihre Familien Displaced Persons geworden sind. Sie hatten auch keinerlei Erinnerungen an den Holocaust. Für ihre Eltern jedoch war Föhrenwald nicht der Beginn ihres Lebens, sondern eher ein Neustart nach vielen schrecklichen und traumatisierenden Jahren.
Das Lager Föhrenwald entstand ab 1937, um Wohnraum zu schaffen für die Arbeiter der nahegelegenen Munitionsfabriken. Dort lebten Zwangsarbeiter, Dienstverpflichtete oder Personen, die Teil der Verwaltung waren. Adolf Hitler persönlich besuchte die Baustelle, um sich ein Bild vom Baufortschritt zu machen. Die Nationalsozialisten errichteten die Siedlung im sogenannten Heimatstil. die Architektur ihrem Weltbild angepasst.
Während all dies geschah, mussten die Familien unserer Zeitzeugen Dramatisches erleben. Sie wurden verfolgt, in Ghettos gesperrt und viele von ihnen wurden ermordet. 11 Millionen Juden lebten vor dem Zweiten Weltkrieg in Europa. Etwa 6 Millionen von ihnen wurden ermordet. Das entspricht etwa der ganzen Bevölkerung von Dänemark. Viele von ihnen kamen kaum damit klar, zum Rest der Geretteten zu gehören, während Tante, Onkel, Bruder, Schwester und teilweise sogar ihre Kinder ermordet worden waren. Deshalb litten sie oft an psychischen Problemen und Depressionen.
Häufig erzählen uns die Zeitzeugen, dass ihre Eltern die einzigen Überlebenden der gesamten Familie waren. Das führt einem nochmal das Ausmaß des Verbrechens vor Augen. Wie viele weitere Familien, Kinder und Enkelkinder würde es jetzt geben, wären die Nazis nicht so grausam gewesen? Manche überlebten als Partisanen im Wald, wie die Familie von Bella Rubin. Andere flohen nach Osten, nach Sibirien, wie die Familie von Helene Romani. Wieder andere versteckten sich und häufig war es einfach eine Frage des Zufalls, wer leben durfte und wer nicht.
How did your family have to experience the Shoah?
So that's a long story and not a very happy story. So my mother's group fled to Russia. They were sent away by the family, who of course did not expect anything that couldn't be reversed. They were arrested and they were then sent to Siberia and interned in a labor camp. So my mother survived with her brother in that labor camp, and basically that saved her life. Back home, unfortunately, all of them with the remaining children, my mother was one of 7, they were all murdered in concentration camps or in the ghetto. And basically, apart from the 3 who fled, my mother lost her entire immediate family, extended relatives, cousins, uncles, aunts, grandmother, and so on.
My mother's family first managed to hide in an underground bunker in the building's yard for a short time until one of the Ukrainian employees that worked for them in the factory betrayed them and turned them over to the Germans.
My father's family, I don't really know the story of how most of his family were murdered. What I heard was that there was an akция in the town. They took out everybody who was in the house and they slaughtered them, they meaning the Nazis. My father wasn't home. He went from work, he was caught, put in a work camp, caught again, put in a work camp. He kept trying to escape. He was running with the partisans for a short period of time. And he does not know how he survived. He attributes it only to luck and fate, because he said he wasn't better than the others. He wasn't more talented, more educated, and he just figured that was luck.
My father had a very traumatic life because he lost all his family, 2 sisters, brothers, their families, parents, and his wife and son. I'm the second Yossi that he had. My mother's story started back in 1938 in the Kristallnacht. They lived in Vienna and they were kicked out of their apartment in nightgowns, sent to the Polish border. My mother traveled in various camps. She was in Auschwitz for a year and a half, being beaten on the head and being dragged and suffering and working hard in the kitchen in Birkenau, Auschwitz.
My family in the Shoah,
Yeah.
They were in the ghetto lodge. And they managed to stay alive. And after the war, in 46, they decided to leave Poland because in 46 there were pogroms in Poland against the Jews. So something about 250,000 Jews left in 46 because of the pogroms in Poland.
My grandparents from the Bielski side, my mother's side, they were taken pretty much from the beginning and murdered by the Nazis. And they're in a mass grave somewhere in Belarus. And the Bielski family, some of them decided that they had to have some kind of plan. There was no real time for planning, but they would have to run into the forest and try to save themselves. And that's what they did, actually. There was no plan. They didn't have food. They had no prepared clothing. They just escaped in a moment's notice. And little by little, more people arrived, more family members, friends, and they started building a camp. By the time they were liberated, there were more than 1,200 Jewish partisans living there. My parents were heroes in many ways. They were ordinary people, but they became heroes because they were able to not only save themselves, but their family members, friends, and survive and start a new life.
Viel hat sich verändert, seit das Lager Föhrenwald aufgelöst wurde. Das schlichte, etwas grob wirkende Lager hat zwar seine Architektur behalten, aber sein Charakter ist anders. Das ehemalige Föhrenwald ist eine Wohnsiedlung geworden und heißt heute Waldramm. Doch wie hat sich die Sicht auf die Deutschen im Laufe der Jahrzehnte entwickelt? Das Sprichwort, dass Zeit alle Wunden heilt, ist wohl bekannt. Gilt das aber auch für die größte aller Wunden?
Außerdem wollen wir wissen, wie sich die Einstellungen gegenüber den Deutschen in der letzten Generation geändert haben. Deshalb haben wir zu unseren Zeitzeugengesprächen die Kinder bzw. die Enkelkinder unserer Föhrenwalder mit eingeladen. Wir wollen wissen, was sie von den Deutschen denken und ob die Geschichte ihres Volkes und ihrer Familie für sie dieselbe Rolle spielt wie für die Leute, die das alles selbst miterleben mussten.
What role does the Shoah play for the younger generations in Israel?
So here in Israel, almost every child and person knows about the Shoah and the Holocaust. It's a very important part of growing up as an Israeli. Obviously a lot of the Holocaust survivors immigrated to Israel and had children. So a lot of people here have relatives that are connected in some way or another to the Shoah. So it becomes a personal matter for some.
It actually goes us every day. Every day you hear new stories.
Testimony.
Every day you hear another testimony, and it goes with us every day.
You need to understand, in Israel, not like in other countries, the Holocaust is something you study, something you learn when you go into school. You learn about it for a few years, not a course for a week or a month. You learn about it, you know everything about it, and you remember it, but you don't, it's not inside of you anymore. You're not angry about it.
Once a year in Israel, in Yom HaShoah Day, a siren goes off for 1 or 2 minutes, I can't recall, to remember. And the whole country just stands still, and this raises questions. And I can see it on my children. I kind of remember them starting to ask, what is this siren? And why are we supposed to be sad on this day?
So it's still present in Israel, but it's important to maintain it. This is how I feel, through education, through meetings, through research, and all of that. Yeah.
What is your image of Germans today? There's the saying, time heals all wounds. Do you think that is true for Jews in Germany?
Time heals wounds, but I didn't feel wounds. I know in the background, yes, but I had no problems with the current generation of Germans and future generations, and I felt very comfortable.
I had a very big emotional issue with Germany. I was angry at all Germans after I heard what happened to my grandmother, and after I heard so many testimonies I remember as a child growing up saying, I'm never going to set foot in Germany. I'm never going to talk to Germans. I want nothing to do with Germans. And then when I was 21, I met my first German. There was a German young woman. I think she was pretty much my age. Sorry, that's my cat's tail. And at first I thought I wouldn't want to be her friend because she was German, and I tried to protect myself from that, but it was so hard to keep my heart close to her. She was so sweet and special and open and loving and good, and she really, sorry about that, let me just take the cat away from here. Sorry. And I felt that she was a person just like me, and we were very connected. And then I realized that, first of all, I can't hate a nation or a people just because, you know, awful things happened in history. And also I was open to people changing, to nations changing.
And I remember as a young kid knowing exactly what is a German product, like what refrigerator is from Germany and what car is made in Germany, because you don't buy a German car. And I think stuff has changed. Also those things have changed. I do feel that part of the history of Germany is the Holocaust. It's something that can't change. What can change and what time does heal is not time, is what you do with time. Time doesn't heal. I do feel that what you do with time can make a difference. And the creation of Israel and commemorating the Holocaust and learning about it and talking about it and what you do in the Bauhaus, that counts.
Okay, so you may know that anti-Semitism is on the rise, not only in Germany, but in the whole Europe, maybe all over the world, yeah. Are you afraid of a repetition of history?
In a personal way, no. I do think that there are genocides going on in other countries, and we have to stop this. We have a responsibility to the entire world, wherever this is going on. But I personally don't feel afraid that there will be another Shoah. No.
Against the Jews.
Against the Jews, no. We'll never let that happen again. We're too strong.
Uriah, you said it's not going to happen against the Jews, but do you think it's going to happen against someone else?
It's happening as we speak. So yes, I do.
Shoah cannot happen again. My granddaughter is proof that Shoah cannot happen again. The Jews will fight to the last, but Shoah will not happen.
When I was younger, I thought that something like the Holocaust could not happen. But I've seen genocide happen in Cambodia, in Rwanda, other places, maybe not the extent of the Holocaust in Europe, but still, Holocaust happen and will happen, unfortunately.
So my last question is, what would you like to pass on to the young Germans and young Israelis?
A sentence like from Bundeskanzler Kohl, die späte Geburt, die Gnade der späten Geburt, is nonsense. This leads exactly to what we have today, to Halle, and to these things. And as a Jew, I'm talking with my friends in Germany. They have a total different now feeling living in Germany. They are told not to keep a kippah when they are going in certain quarters in the city, which is totally unthinkable. The Germans and us, we are chained. The German youth has to understand this. It won't help. Even if you try to forget it, it's going to chase you. So better you deal with this.
Gerade für uns junge Deutsche ist es durchaus erschütternd, wie lange die Narben der Vergangenheit noch verweilen.
Erschütternd ist es, überraschend aber nicht. Denn die Shoah war ein Verbrechen, das in der Geschichte der Menschheit einmalig ist und es hoffentlich für immer bleiben wird. Aber hier sind wir gefragt. Unsere Generation wird weiter gegen das Vergessen arbeiten. Das geschieht mit jedem Erinnerungsprojekt, mit jedem Stolperstein, mit jedem Akt des Gedenkens. Denn es gibt immer weniger Menschen, die sich noch an die Grauen der Shoah erinnern können.
Wir möchten mit den Worten Max Mannheimers schließen, der das erste Mitglied in unserem Verein war. Er sagte: Ich wünsche mir eine Welt, in der junge Menschen einen verantwortungsbewussten Umgang mit der Vergangenheit garantieren und aus der historischen Erfahrung von uns Überlebenden Handlungsmaximen für die Gegenwart ableiten.
Real cooperation, letting go of the past, and we all have to build a new phase in life.
Be considerate of others, think of other people's histories, and live nicely together.
Lessons about prejudice and racism and to do everything possible to avoid that.
And above all, love the human world.
Foster an education to young people that includes respect for the other and being anti-racist.
Jews and the Germans, we have a special history which is connecting only us, is chaining us.